watching NBC4, live from the area's leading news station. This is News 4 at 5.
Out in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, a relic of America's revolutionary past has gotten a second chance, thanks to an architect who is devoted to preservation and conservation. Tonight, Going Green reminds us that sometimes all an old thing needs is to be seen again for the first time. You may come upon them while wandering the back roads of our countryside, the ruins of another time. This was Woodlawn House, abandoned for almost a century in an Appomattox, Virginia field, until Tom Glass wandered by.
It's kind of love at first sight. You know, I saw the house and I was like, that's it, you know? That's the house. It's just like perfect.
Glass is an architect who specializes in restoring old homes, and Woodlawn was old, built in the 1790s, just after the Revolutionary War.
The bones, the structure of the house were in fantastic shape.
Glass, meanwhile, had a beautiful piece of property in the Shenandoah Valley, and it needed a house.
I didn't want to build a new house, and so that's what sparked the idea.
Taking it apart like a puzzle and hiring craftsmen from the area, Glass moved Woodlawn House from Appomattox to Flint Hill, Virginia, about 100 miles away, and then lovingly put her back together. A process that pays homage to the spirit of the original builders and shows respect for the earth.
The whole idea was to use as much existing material as possible, not to consume more trees.
It took more than a year, but Woodlawn House now lives again, and she's a beauty. The interior floors were numbered and relaid in their original place, the wainscoting and trim all used, some bearing the paint and scratches applied by inhabitants through the years. The cross beams come from 30-foot-long timber. The double chimney, reminiscent of early Virginia homes, is rarely seen today. Woodlawn wears it proudly.
It's really something. It's probably the most beautiful piece of the house.
Glass grew up on his grandfather's farm, understanding man's connection to the land and to a time when people carved their homes from the land.
I really believe that there's a life in these materials that have had so much time invested in them by people using hand planes.
Now, not everyone can afford to renovate an old home, and not every old home can be salvaged. But in an era of tract housing and wasteful construction, Tom Glass reminds us there are thoughtful ways to shelter ourselves, and in seeking to preserve our past, maybe we can preserve our future. Now, 5 Star Films made a documentary about the reconstruction of Woodlawn House. You can find it and all the other magazine articles that have been done on it on our website, NBCWashington.com. Search Going Green. You can also find my green blog with a listing of all the Earth Day events for tomorrow. We've got a week of stories coming up as we celebrate this week. So